they're gonna play stupid games, they're gonna get stupid games, okay? Yeah, mastermind vibes only. Where were you at when you started with me, and where are you at now? They've done a really good job of bullying a lot of businesses into compliance, and so we just refuse to be one of those businesses. We're gonna do it back, okay? What is going on, YouTube? It is your boy Brian Mark coming at you with another episode of my channel, and in today's episode it's going to be the first time back at the gym since I got back from Mexico, so I'm excited to go in here and see what's going on. So sit back, relax, enjoy the episode. Let's go. Got some Unity stickers here, looking good. Free BC on the window. Let's go. What's up, team? What's up? Ah, damn. Just gonna film her reaction, but she's not here. Okay, so I just finished up at the gym. And found out that Interior Health dropped off 21 tickets that were backdated. It was like 21 tickets for $300 a day that were backdated the entire month, which is definitely illegal, and they definitely can't do that. So I'm gonna pay them a visit tonight, and tonight I'm going to have my own little shenanigans that I'm gonna plan. If they're gonna play stupid games, they're gonna get stupid games, okay? Guys, so it is the middle of the day, and I decided I'm going to do a random coaching call for my mastermind. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the coaching call. Let's go. Bro, let's go. I like that. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna mute people as they come in, and I'm gonna give you guys some context, by the way. So we're gonna go here. Okay, so Mike reached out to me and asked me a question, and I was like, that's a good question, and let's do a pop-up Zoom for it. Also, it made me realize, I'm like, this is a good idea, because like I'm going on my honeymoon in March. Me and Kirsch are gonna do 2 weeks of no vacation, 2 weeks of no work, on a vacation. And while I'm on vacation, I'm definitely not missing podcasts. So I need to record 2 podcasts a day. And then I thought, I'm like, why don't I just turn pop-up Zoom calls into podcast episodes? Because we're gonna have a good dialogue about, you know, a conversation that a lot of people are gonna wanna hear. So I'm gonna reach out and let you guys know that for the next couple weeks, if any of you guys have a question that you want some one-on-one help with, I will do a pop-up Zoom call with you, and we will put it as a podcast. So if you guys want some one-on-one, yeah, mastermind vibes only, okay? Cool, so let's do this freaking thing, Mr. Mikey. So we're talking about cancellations today, and one of my clients, Mike McDonald in the $1 Million Mastermind, has dealt with a cancellation / had some questions around cancellations. So this episode is gonna be around cancellations and how to handle them. So Mr. Mike, what's going on, brother? How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing amazing. So give us some context, give me some context, let me know what is going on right now, and then we'll kind of dive into it.
So as I was mentioning before, in October, I started selling 60-week programs, and I started selling them without really, I was putting off the inevitable, like when we all buy a free trial or sign up for something, and I don't know about you, but I usually mark it on my calendar when the first payment's coming out, because I use that period to decide whether or not I really get value, if I'm even using the service.
Yeah.
And like October, November, December flew, and we are approaching or have approached the 16-week mark.
Yep.
And I've been putting off the fact that if I don't get in front of it, that people are probably going to send me the message and say, hey, I really enjoyed the program, or maybe they will at the first monthly payment go through, and this is all in my head. But yep. I have had 1 or 2 clients reach out and say, hey, I know that I'm going to get charged next week or the week after. I really enjoyed blah, 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 the drill. Luckily, I did get on the call with someone yesterday, and I was like, hey, so you've done really well. I summarized his achievements and everything like that. You mentioned in your chat to hop on this call that it was really just, you said you're having a tight month. What if we do weekly payments? And he was like, sure. And I was like, oh, that was easy. But I hadn't really, I'm really in my head about this. Yeah. So unfortunately, even up to saying that point, I was rambling. I was a hot mess. Yeah. Because again, it's all in my head. Mm-hmm. As I was mentioning before, there's some more deep-rooted about handling rejection and feeling invalidated.
Yeah.
So I am seeing, I made it an appointment with my therapist for later this week to go over how to deal with it from a personal issue standpoint.
Yeah.
But I reached out to you because I was like, B-Mark's probably got a great script.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a great approach to how to deal with this.
Yeah. And I want to, first of all, thanks for being open. And for every, I know that this isn't just an issue that you deal with. I know that a lot of online trainers struggle with this, and myself included. This is still something that I work through, because when a client's program is expiring, in the back of our heads, we're wondering, did this client get enough value from me to continue paying me? So that's the first thing. But there is a marketing statistic that states if somebody pays you $1, they're 7 times more likely to pay you the second $1. Meaning that once somebody's already your client, the chances of them saying yes to keeping you as their coach is significantly higher than you trying to sell a new stranger. And so renewals is really where all the money is. That's really where all the growth is in your coaching business, because if you sign, let's just use an example. You sign 10 clients a month every single month for the next 16 weeks. At the end of that 16 weeks, if all 10 of those clients leave, now you have to assign 10 more clients to stay at 40. Whereas if 7 of them stay, now you're at 47 clients and you sign another 10. And that's how your business is going to grow over time, is renewals. So that being said, when it comes to like 16-week programs and like coming up to extension, like everybody like always make the assumption that they're not going to renew. Because if you make the assumption that they're not going to renew, then you're going to do your due diligence to, follow up accordingly and plan accordingly. Just like on sales calls, expect objections. Because if you expect objections, then when you go into sales calls, like you're much more likely to do better because you're already prepared and you know exactly what to say when those objections come up. So in the situations like this, my invitation would be just like to expect them not to renew, because then you'll follow up properly. So I'm going to give you some best practices, and I'm going to talk to you guys about what I did when I was an online fitness coach, and then I'm going to talk to you guys about what I'm doing right now with PT Domination. And so if you're in PT Dom, this is like the magician revealing the tricks. So when I was an online fitness coach, what I would do is for my 16-week programs, I would set a reminder in my own calendar, in my own Calendly, to contact Mike McDonald about renewals. So I would set a reminder so that somebody would purchase a 16-week program, and Mike, you've got a virtual assistant now, or an assistant, so you could tell your assistant, hey, I want you to go into every single client that we have, and I want you to figure out when they purchased, and then 16 weeks from the date, or 14 weeks from the date that they purchased, I want you to put a reminder in my calendar to follow up for a renewal. The best part about this, Mike, is like a lot of these clients have already paid in full, correct? Or they're on monthly. So really, like, this is going to be a lot of this is where you're going to start hitting record-breaking months when you master this, because now you've got your lead gen dialed in, you've got your systems dialed in. Like, this is going to help you like keep money and start stacking. So what I would do is 16-week programs 2 weeks before you want to hit them up. Now, when you hit them up, this is where you're going to there's a couple different ways to approach this. Approach number one is you could send them a message saying like, hey Mike, ! It's your favorite coach, smiley face. I wanted to set up a quick 10 to 15 minute call to chat about your progress in the program so far, period. Do you have some time tomorrow? You're already working with them, so they'll already say yes. They'll always say yes, right? And then on that point, you can get them on a 15 to 20 minute phone call and you can run them through the renewal script. Do you have that?
You've given it, then I forgot about it.
I can find it. I can find it for you and I can send it. So you'll run them through a renewal script. So that's if you want to do a call. Now there's also an option to do it over chat, and we always do it over chat, and we literally just do it with a message. So here's how we do it if we're going to do it over chat. So what I do is I send my clients a message about 2 to 3 weeks before they're about to expire, their 12 months is up, and I send them a message and I'm like, yo Clayton, ! Thank you so much for being my client for the last 12 months. Because you've been a client for the last 12 months, I'm going to buy you a hoodie. I'm like, fill this information here and I'm going to send you a hoodie. So I send him a message, and it's not me asking for anything. It's like, congratulations, you made it. Like, now I'm going to buy you something. So I'm going to give you this gift. He's going to fill out his information, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm going to ask, so, what was your experience in the program? Like what were you at when you started and where are you at now? And for me, I'm talking about income. So that somebody be like, well, I didn't even have an online business and now I'm at $3,000 a month. I'm like, that's great. So like, what are your next goals? Like, what's like the next thing you want to work on? I'm at 3K, but I'd love to get to 10K. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. Like, let's do it. You did this in 12 months. Like, you'll definitely be able to do 10K in the next 12. I'm like, okay, so now that the 12 months is up, there's 2 options to continue. Option number 1 would be to do monthly at $300 a month, or option number 2, you could do a paid in full for $2,500 for the year. Which one works better for you? So I start with a gift. I'm like, here's this thing. Thank you for being my client for so long. And then they receive the gift. And then once they receive the gift, I'm like, so what were your, obviously I'm going to ask them right after I buy them something. So what were your thoughts on the program? At that point, they're like, yeah, it was awesome, right? So now they're talking to me about their experience. And now I'm like, where were you at when you started with me? And where are you at now? Or another thing that you would do, this is what I would do is if I was a fitness coach using the strategy, is I would take a before picture of them and I would take an after picture and I would send those in the DMs. And I'd be like, this is where you were at before. This is where you're at now. I'm super proud of you. And then I might even be cheeky and I might put a before picture of them now and an after picture with a question mark and be like, where do you think we can get in the next 16 weeks, right? So that's what I would do if I was a fitness coach, is I would do I would hit them up. I would buy them you can buy them a t-shirt or a sweater with your own branded logo on it. So now you're getting your brand out there. So either way, if they stay or not, it's a brand move. And I would send a before and after picture of them in the DMs, just being like, this is our progress so far. Like, how are you feeling about the program? And then what's your next goal? And then you can renew them over the DMs. News interview right now.
You guys would have been allowed to stay open if you simply enforced public health orders that are in place. Would have been a lot easier, I'm sure. Why not do that? Most people are vaccinated already, aren't they?
Totally. I honestly, I'm not against a vaccination. I am vaccinated myself. I think for us, it's the not giving people a choice, My grandma is unvaccinated because she chooses not to be. And so I think it's wrong to turn people away because they made a different choice, especially when it's the Premier of Saskatchewan has an open letter on his Instagram that states that vaccination does not stop the transmission. You know, it makes the individual get less sick, but it doesn't help with transmission. So why am I asking people for their medical records?
I guess the other thing, to tack on that, I guess, is like, it feels like we're kind of reaching the end point in terms of vaccine policies. Everybody else is, or not everybody else, but as you said, I'm sure Saskatchewan's getting rid of theirs. Alberta announced right after Saskatchewan that they're gonna get rid of theirs even earlier, and the other ones are gonna follow. You didn't want to. It wasn't an option to maybe implement it just until that point. Like you're almost there.
Yeah.
We're gonna revisit it mid-March. How's that feeling?
Well, I think it's like this is the same thing that's been happening to us for the last couple of years. 2 more weeks to bend the curve, kind of thing. So for us, it's like we just decided that like our stake in the ground was Operation Green Light, and we were done with the mandates. Like we didn't believe in them. We don't believe in them, and we don't support the government's decision to unlawfully enforce them. And we think that they've done a really good job of bullying a lot of businesses into compliance, and so we just refuse to be one of those businesses. All right, guys. So I just wanted to quickly show you something. That right there is Cole's house, right, Cole? Right, Julia? Right. That's right. That's Cole and Julia's house right there. Tonight, we're gonna be doing something pretty funny. Interior Health dropped off 23 traffic tickets. Well, they're actually violation tickets for our gym. And so we are gonna go drop off and frickin' duct tape free BC signs to their window because that's what they did to us. So we're gonna do it back. We're gonna do it back, okay? We're gonna let them know that we are Iron Energy and we're here to free BC, free BC, free BC.